So guys, I would like to tell you about my story, how I managed to crash my beloved Mavic, and I tell it to you because I want you to learn from my stupidity, because it was absolutely because of my own stupidity. If I would have listened to my instinct and my brain, then it wouldn't have happened, so I want to share it with you so you don't make the same mistake. So what happened was, I am a professional media person and I was shooting for the Hungarian Fine Arts Museum. They are renovating one of their halls and I wanted to use my quite freshly bought Mavic because I was so happy that I will be able to use it indoors. So I wanted to use it indoors and we went into this hall and as you can see, it is quite a dark hall. The light was only natural light coming in from above, but it was covered, the windows were covered, so there was kind of a twilight in there. Nevertheless, I wanted to try flying the drone. I actually didn't even have any worries at the moment. But when I lifted up the Mavic, immediately it started to move all around the place and wouldn't stay in position, which was because it couldn't connect to any of the satellites. So I quickly grabbed the thing in midair. It even managed to smack on my fingers. Didn't do much damage actually, thank God. And I put the thing down. So I realised, yes, of course, there's no satellite connection, so it won't be able to fly properly, and also it's twilight, so the visual sensors aren't able to work properly. And also, to make it more difficult, we had the scaffolds all around, which are made out of metal, so the compass is not working properly as well. But stupid me, let's just give it another try. And actually, when I tried again, as you can see from my footage, it managed to kind of find itself with its ultrasound sensors. It managed to stabilize itself, and I managed to make a few quite alright shots. But the actual work which was going on and the actual stuff I wanted to film with the drone was much higher up in the hall, so I wanted to fly high up, but of course the Mavic doesn't let you fly higher than 4 meters when you're using only the indoor sensors and there are no satellites working, so when you're using the visual mode. And that wasn't good enough for me. And this is where I was really stupid. I realised it's not going to work. I actually even had a colleague with me who's a big expert on drones. He even actually shouted down at me, "Do you want me to film you as you crash it?" Which he thought was very funny, but it wasn't. So I kind of had this bad gut feeling I shouldn't carry on, but oh yes, no, all right, let's just give it another try. And what I did, it makes me sick even to think about it now. I climbed up on the scaffold and I asked my colleague of mine to do a from-hand takeoff on the scaffold about 10 meters up. The takeoff was all right, but immediately the drone started to move all around the place as it did before, like dropping some butter in a hot pan, and it just starts sliding all around the place. I tried to control it, and I immediately realised that I have to land the drone immediately, but the land was down 10 meters below. Of course, there was no chance of me landing it on the scaffold, which was a very narrow little place. I wanted to land it down at the floor of the hall, but that was 10 meters down and the drone wouldn't fly down. It was going all around the place, and of course I don't have the routine to kind of work with a drone that doesn't stabilize itself. I thought I was quite all right with a drone. That's a tricky thing. They told me that the big problems start when you think that you're kind of good at the controls, but I'm not. I'm only good at the controls when the machine is helping me. But once the machine wasn't helping me and was gliding all around the place, I couldn't control it properly. I was trying to move against all this movements it was making, and of course I started panicking, and then in the end, as you can see, I started moving around, and then BAM! I smashed the thing onto one of the walls, and thank God it didn't fall 10 meters, it only fell sideways, and one of the scaffolds managed to hold it up. At first I thought it was only the rotor that got smashed, and then I realised that the gimbal also got damaged. I first thought it was only mechanical damage. One of the suspensions, the rubber bands broke, but then later on it turned out that the gimbal motor was also damaged, was overloaded, so the gimbal was, thank God, just 2 days before the incident, I got myself a DJI Care refresh. I sent back the Mavic to DJI in Germany, and ta-da! Now I've got back a brand new Mavic. Of course, my battery is not new, but the whole body, everything is completely new. Yes, of course, I had to pay a bit more than €100 for the fresh, but still, it's much less than what I would have had to pay for the gimbal repairs, which would have been around €350. So now I've got back my little bird, or a new bird, and I won't be stupid again, and I won't be flying indoors, and I don't recommend flying indoors for anyone unless you're a really experienced pilot. Just keep it safe, and yes, it's a wonderful little machine. It has many features in it that are foolproof, but don't press your luck. Learn from my case and take care of your little Mavic. And if you'll accept one last advice from me, get yourself the Care refresh, because it's really worth it. It really works. They do exchange your drone. They do keep their promise, and it only took about 2.5 weeks. It was sent to Germany, and they sent back the brand new machine. So it's much better and more comfortable and more nice to fly with a drone that has this insurance, because accidents do happen. You know how the saying goes, there's 2 types of drone owners: one who's already crashed their drone and one who hasn't yet. So get yourself insurance and don't be stupid. Thanks for watching.